One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On second down, Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Kevin White. Kevin White. Touchdown, Chicago. Kevin White, 63 yards. And the Bears have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerve showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Prescott now on second down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Throw left side, complete. That's Burton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On second down, Elliott. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Roethlisberger. He hits White, complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You're running against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. David Irving in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Going to throw right side here, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2nd down, Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete.
Yeah, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down throw for Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Will tie, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. This is Howard on second down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2, now third down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Prescott to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And caught, right side, Green. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan, and you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection, so you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield, so you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion. Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Roethlisberger will throw. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards there on the catch and run. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Running with Howard, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. A give to Howard. And room there to work it inside the 25. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And this is caught. It's White for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Bears are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cowboys didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Bears opening drive. Roethlisberger's got the completion out of the gun. And he caps off the 2-play drive with the score. They strike first in the half. Cowboys now late in the first quarter.
Hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it's a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, real credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Prescott got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's Prescott. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Damon Harrison able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Jordan Howard and the Bears offense making their way back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Second down following the run. Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Stephen Paya busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now Ben on third and long. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now Prescott. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Shaq Lawson in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal. But now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
They go with Howard again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Out left to Shaheen. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On the handoff, this is Howard. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Space to run past the 20, and he's brought down. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. We'll check on his status when we get back. A first down carry here for Johnson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yards.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Jarvis Landry from 4 yards out. And the Bears will add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Second down now after the incompletion. Prescott from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Prescott now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got it at the 15. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. It's a big play there on 4th and inches. 53 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Trey Burton, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Again, it's Johnson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. There goes Duke Johnson. The 20. A big run there by Johnson. 49 yards.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. On 2nd down, Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. Good move by Duke. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Duke Johnson, 22 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Caught left side, Williams. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Prescott to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. Now Prescott. And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.